All right, ladies and gentlemen, I'm your host, Nate Lewis. Over here, I've got Josh with me. Down here, I've got Big Hoss with me. This is Just the Facts on a Friday night. Every Friday night, we come on here. I may not have the same people on the show with me, but it's generally me. It's every week, that's for sure. But we're live on YouTube now, everybody. So make sure that you come on and check us out.
Can we turn the music off?
Let's see. I'm going to blast people on Facebook for a second, guys. You guys should do the same. Get people
Is it too loud? Big Hoss?
Hella loud. And it's screwing with my video here.
Fair enough.
So when I pay for the upgrade, we can start doing the what you call it? I can start doing the local feeds where actually your guys' video and stuff will be cleaned up a lot too.
Very nice.
So, online is going to get blasted right now. Paste. I have 2 viewers now. That's kind of good. Hello to my 2 viewers. Come and say hi. Someone already did. Hold on, we got comments here. Ashley Forbes is on. Hello, Ashley. So anyways, quick joke real quick before we get too much into the show, guys. All right, you ready? So husband and wife are sitting on the couch, right? And husband keeps flipping back and forth. Golf, porn, golf, porn, golf, porn, right? His wife says, just flip it back to porn. You already know how to golf. All right. Trying to blast some people on Facebook. Say, get over here and watch the show.
Why did the chicken cross the road?
I don't know.
Because he was doing what he was ordered.
Let's see. Who else can I send messages to say, come watch the show? All right, we got 4 viewers. Hello to my 4 viewers. Natasha, what's up, girl? We lost Josh. Josh, come back in when you get a chance. I don't think I have to send him a new invite. I think you can use the old one.
Yeah, he can.
Sure.
I might have upset him. I don't know.
I don't think you upset him. I think he just lost contact. He'll come back on. We're also, let's see, it's still Military Appreciation Month. It's still
I appreciate you.
Mental Health Awareness Month. All right, we're gonna get Josh back on here. I'll have to send him another invite anyway. I guess I don't know. I'm going to. You should be able to use the old one, but
you should be able to.
Yeah, I'm gonna start learning how to do shorts this week. I think since I don't have school anymore, I'm starting to learn how to do shorts because
I can tell you how. So when you get up in the morning and you want to put your pants on, you put one leg in first, and it's going to be shorter than the regular pair of pants that you would.
Listen here, asshole. What I mean by short is I mean like short videos to go on YouTube. I guess that's
short videos. I thought you were gonna need help learning how to put shorts on.
I know I'm wearing shorts right now, jerk. So that's what I'm just saying. Anyways, no, I'm gonna learn how to make shorts this week. Short videos for YouTube, because that's where you can connect with a lot of your viewers and bring a lot of more people in. Anyways, guys, there's really nothing new in the news. we already know about the elections coming up. We're going to be talking about some of those here in a little bit anyway. So I'm going to stay away from those.
Pathetic.
What's that?
Pathetic.
Yeah, but we're going to get there. So new in the news, there was a congressman who had a daughter and a stepson that were murdered in Haiti this last week by gang violence. That was what's new in the news. That's the only story I really wanted to talk about today is that situation. They were on a mission down in I believe Haiti, helping some people, helping the people out, of course, down there. Anyways, they were they were husband and wife. So it was the daughter of the House of Representatives member and his son-in-law. So on a mission, that's kind of sad news, tragic news. That's what's new in the news. That's really kind of all I got. The sports scores. I'll just go over those. Usually I have those at the bottom of the screen, but I haven't filled those in yet all the way. Anyways, I should say. In the NBA, there's a game that's about to go final. It's the only game of the night for the NBA. Let's see. It is the Dallas Mavericks at the Minnesota Timberwolves. Oh, the game is just finished. It just wrapped up. The Mavericks beat the Minnesota Timberwolves by a score of 109-108. The Dallas Mavericks now have a 2-0 series lead in that series. This is the Western Conference Finals. The winner of this series, of course, best of 4, goes to the NBA Finals, which start, I think, into next week sometime, like first week of June. Let's take a look. The NHL hockey, they're in the conference finals over there too. Tonight, in overtime right now, the Florida Panthers are playing the New York Rangers in the Eastern Conference Finals. This is game 2. The score is tied right now, 1-1 in overtime. Let's go take a look at some baseball scores from around Major League Baseball. We'll give you the finals first. The Kansas City Royals beat the Tampa Bay Rays by a score of 8-1 tonight, leaving them a half a game behind the Cleveland Guardians in that division. The Texas Rangers lost to the Minnesota Twins today, 3-2. The Twins snap a 7-game losing streak. It was the Giants over the Mets, 8-7. In that game, the Brewers beat the Red Sox 7-2. It was the Reds over the Dodgers, 9-6. The Washington Nationals beat the Mariners 6-1. It was the Tigers over the Blue Jays 6-2. And the Pittsburgh Pirates over the Atlanta Braves by a score of 11-5. Current games in play right now is the New York Yankees at San Diego Padres. The Yankees lead that game 7-0 in the top of the 5th inning. The Marlins lead the Diamondbacks 3-0 in the top of the 7th. It's right now the Astros lead the Athletics 6-2 in the top of the 6th. The Guardians lead the Angels 10-2 in the top of the 5th. It's the Phillies and the Rockies tied at 2-2 in the middle of the 10th inning, moving to the bottom of the 10th, that is. And finally, the other game in session right now is the Baltimore Orioles lead the Chicago White Sox by a score of 6-4. That is what's new in the news, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's get on to the rest of the show. Do you guys have anything else you want to put out, by the way?
Did you hear Super Size Me director Morgan Spurlock died at the age of 53?
Yeah. Also the lead singer of Train passed away this week. The band Train.
Really?
He was the founder and lead singer of the band. That's kind of sad too, to be honest with you. All right. Should we start with the big topic or should we move on to the elections? We talked about the elections a little bit, kind of. They're coming up. You know what? Let's start with the big topic. All right, guys. If you haven't heard, if you're watching, if you haven't heard, there was a speech given by a National League football player, national football player for the NFL. He's a kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs, which is why I'm wearing my hat tonight, because I'm supporting him. I'll be honest with you. This is my take. In the speech, his name is Harrison Butker. He's the kicker for the Kansas City Chiefs. Kicks the field goals, kicks the punts and stuff like that. Anyways, in his speech, he talks about how women should stay at home and be homemakers. In his speech, he didn't really say to me, and this is my opinion, of course, he never really said anything that I feel is directly like feminist or directed towards women as being a harsh statement.
Male chauvinist.
I know. I know for a fact that he's of Christian faith. He's very devout to his faith, and he just feels like he brags about how he was raised. His mom raised him, and in a way, I feel like he kind of makes a point because we talk about all these broken families in the United States, and it kind of ties into government, I think, because government has screwed the economy up so bad that wives have to go to work now to make ends meet, right? It's not just a one income household anymore. You have to have multiple incomes in a household to run a household.
To even survive, you have to
even
have
survive. Yeah,
incomes.
exactly. And so this is something. We'll get on national wages here in a second, in a little bit, because I that is a topic of discussion tonight, is the wages in America and how the middle class is being destroyed by the government right now. Anyways,
we have to have two incomes, and even possibly a third.
Right.
We have to have, as parents, both parents have to assert authority. Now, I'm not saying that that's never changed, but I'm just saying, because if you're at work, then what? Then what do you do with your kid? You take them to daycare. Well, what daycare teaches them one way, you teach them another way, and you have to show assertive, being assertive, or whoever wears the pants in the house, or whatever the hell. You have to. Both parents have to show assertiveness back in the house, and then
right.
You have a problem with your kids. You have a problem with your relationship. You guys don't see each other anymore. You're spending money on things that you only get to use half the time, or barely any time at all. Like, I know I'm a big guy, and I don't fit in almost anywhere. But here's the problem. Problem is that, believe it or not, I don't know much about sports. I don't know much anymore about statistics on football or baseball or anything like that. That's your field and everything like that. But I like golf because it's a little bit more calming. I don't look like a person that would even be interested in golf, but it's just kind of something that I've been really thinking about and whatnot. But I don't have any time to do it. I'm either building cars, building hot rods, trying to get by, trying to figure out, how to pay bills, or go here and do this and do that and make sure my kids got diapers and everything. And I'm stuck at home being daddy homemaker, and my wife's out making money.
Right. So you're not wrong. We have to go to like 2 income houses, 3 income houses, and sometimes, right? But what was said in Harrison Butler's speech was about women staying home and raising the children and being the homemaker.
And about that, I was raised for a short time. I was raised with my mother. My mother, she worked and made money and paid the bills and did all this other stuff, and I went to school. Yeah. And my dad, he really wanted to have a family, and he really wanted to have a woman in the house and stuff like that. So my stepmom, for a short time, my dad would go to work and make the money. My stepmom would stay home and do the dishes and wash the clothes and vacuum the house and do all that other stuff while we were at school. And then we would come home and she would make sure that we were doing our homework and whatnot. Well, I lived like that. I've known a handful of other people that have lived like that. And I don't disagree with that way of living. I don't disagree with with any of that. You know, I know that there's single mothers and single fathers and so on and so forth out there, and there's no shame in that whatsoever. But
Right.
you know, because you can't always, you know, make things work out, and I understand that. But one of my biggest issues is that, you know, I lived this way for the longest time. I'm not opposed to it. I'm not opposed to women being in the kitchen and changing diapers and everything like that while the guy's making money and everything like that. And that rolls into, well, with women wanting, you know, equal rights and equal opportunity and trying to equalize everything. Well, it runs into the guys aren't making enough money anymore.
Right.
You know, yes, the economy has a big effect on that, but truck driving is not a blue collar job. Truck driving.
And you're talking about people that you know, some people, you know, they're graduating college. So he gave this commencement speech at a college graduation,
right.
and you know, these are men and women that are graduating with advanced degrees, and they're getting ready to move on about their lives. And I can see both sides of the argument. I can see where the women could be outraged because they're like, I went to college for 4 years. Why should I have to go home and raise babies? And I get that. But I can also see it from the other side is, you know, we're coming in this generation where a lot of these guys are raised without moms in the house. And so what do kids turn to is doing bad stuff when they're left alone or left with a nanny or sent off to daycare and stuff like that. They don't learn from parents that are in the home all the time. And I'm not saying it has to be only like in your situation, Haas, where you're home most of the time tending to your daughter. It doesn't have to be just the women, but I just feel like, and like I said, we'll get to this in a few minutes, but the economy is to the point where both husband and wife have to go to work in order to survive anymore. And sometimes the man has to work 2-3 jobs, and the woman has to work a job in order to pay bills. Josh, I'd love to get your take on this. What are you thinking?
Well, while you guys were talking, I was looking up some statistics. On average, an individual needs roughly $96,500 to live comfortably in a major U.S. city. So, the bigger cities. And that's just outrageous.
Yeah.
I mean, I myself don't even come near that.
I think real quick, when I was growing up, I think it cost somewhere in the average of $250,000 to raise a child. I'm sure that number's gone up, but what's the average cost of it to raise a child from the time they're born till 18, let's say?
I don't know. Give me a second.
Well, that depends. Are you putting them through college or not?
Right.
I said 18. So 18 is not college. So you were just 18. Let's just say that. That's a fair account because a lot of people don't go to college. And a lot of people are starting to see the devaluation of college is because, well, why should I go spend 4 years at a college and pay, hundreds of thousands of dollars sometimes to a big university if I'm going to get a job that only pays mid 6 figures or like low 6 figures. And I have to live in an economy, like Josh says, to even live, I have to make at least 6 figures to make ends meet. It doesn't make sense.
So the interwebs say from birth to age 18 ranges from $50,000 to $56,000 to raise a child. Yeah.
It can't be right because it was something like $250,000 when I was growing up. Because you think about from birth to 3, they're in diapers. Maybe not 3, but birth to 2. And diapers are pricey as crap.
Yeah, but wait a minute though. So the kid's not going to be in diapers forever.
No,
but what is that? Was that $50,000 for? Is that just to buy diapers and food and clothes, or is that for toys? Is that like I'm just trying to get like a little bit of a detail here because.
Hold on a second. I got that figure wrong. So it's 280,000 to 312,000.
That sounds right.
There you go.
I was going to say $50,000 means you'd be paying $2,700 a year for a child to help raise a child. But shoot, that's easy.
That's daycare cost a month.
Yeah, pretty much nowadays.
Right.
So we're looking up to 250 divided by, let's say, 18 years. That's $13,000 a year to raise a child. So an average of $1,000 a month. That's just to feed and clothe and that doesn't include the fluctuation. That's at $250,000. So that doesn't include the fluctuation of when they hit teenagers, a boy,
Right.
at 11, 12 years of age, who's going to eat you out of house and home. He's eating $500 of food a week.
So that 50 to 56,000 was just for food. Sorry.
Okay. So that makes more sense. Just for food.
Yep.
And that was, like I said, $2,700 a month or a year, excuse me, in just food for just that child. You have 3 or 4 children that are in the age range of 0 to 18 years old. You're spending that much times however many children you have. It's a lot of money. I'm just saying.
So for 2 adults to support 2 children without the pressure of living paycheck to paycheck, the combined total average income needs to be roughly $235,000 a year.
Nobody in blue collar makes that.
Right?
No.
I could go drive truck and be an owner op and probably barely get that. There's trucking jobs. I've talked to a guy, one of my buddies he met a trucking guy the other day who has now like 4 or 5 trucks, and he runs one of them himself. He started off with his first truck and he made like $900,000 his first year. And then he went and got a few more trucks, and he just knows how to talk to brokers. That's a whole big thing anyways, a different subject. But it's incredible to raise children these days. And so to Harrison Butker's point, I think he's talking about how, women should be able to stay in the home and help raise children. This pandemic of people having to work, women having to go to work too, instead of staying at home and being the homemakers, has been a thing since, I don't know, the 60s and 70s, when prices on everything started skyrocketing. My mom toyed with going back to work. She kind of dabbled with work a little bit as I was growing up. I know she was going to school. She was trying to become a nurse. And so that was back in the 80s when I was growing up and young, and she was trying to help my dad. My dad had to take second jobs at some points in my life to pay the bills. It's been ridiculous. And this is all caused by the government's trying to eliminate the middle class. And there has been a separation in the middle class. The top 10% of richest people in the United States are on the side of the Democrats, which, like I said, on this show, I'm going to be as biased as possible. But the facts speak for themselves, is that the biggest players in the game, the richest people, are backers of Joe Biden and the Democrat Party, because they know that the Democrat Party is going to help them get richer. And with them getting richer, you're creating a divide between between the lowest class and the upper class, the richer class, and you're just creating a void, and it's sucking all that middle class right down into the bottom. It's not leaving any room for the middle class to even stay afloat. And that's what it's doing. There's only been one. I watch a guy on YouTube or TikTok all the time, and he argues. He's that guy, prove me wrong guy, about whatever. And he brought up a point. The video I have earlier, I think I saved it, but he talks about how the richest people in America, the billionaires, there's only one billionaire, and that's Tesla's owner. Who the flip is his name? Elon Musk. Elon Musk is the only billionaire in this country that supports the Republican Party and what they're trying to do, and try to reestablish a middle class that actually makes sense, right? Now, I don't judge people for the way they get rich if they worked hard for it, right? Well, some of them did. All right. You can even look at Trump. Trump didn't. I mean, he lost businesses before he succeeded. His dad kept bailing him out. His dad gave him his first $1 million at 19. He went and built the hotel and squandered that away. Boom, it failed. And he went and started another business. His dad just gave him money until he succeeded. But some of these guys built themselves up to where they are. And I applaud them for that. That's great. But when you're backing the side of the federal government that is destroying the middle class, it's not right. But we've kind of got off topic to, like, how do you guys feel about Harrison Butker's speech? What are your guys' opinions on it?
I don't disagree at all
with what he said.
I absolutely think that women need to be home and cooking and cleaning and stuff like that, and that's because I watched it as I was growing up, and I like that style of living. I like that way of living, being able to go out and earn money for the house and go out and spend it on buying a car or parts or a jet ski or boat or whatever you want. Like it's kind of one of those really good feelings to be able to do, but the economy has to get better.
Yeah, no, I would agree to a certain extent. I mean, yeah, that lifestyle is great. Women are more the nurturers for the children and, for the husband when they come home, right? But this is 2024, just like on one of the previous episodes we've talked about, times have changed. And I think us as just humans in general have to adapt to those changes. If the economy got better, we definitely could go back to that kind of lifestyle, but I don't know. It's very hard. Just like we were discussing, it's very hard to live on a one income if you have a family. So,
right, you're not wrong. It is. It's really hard. So, like I said earlier, I agree with Harrison Butker's speech. I'm not going to sit there and the thing that gets people wrong is they're like, well, he's a NFL player. He can't be out there talking about like stuff like that. He never brought the NFL up, not at all. Like in his speech, I'm pretty sure he talked about his career and winning Super Bowls and the stuff that comes from following your dreams and stuff like that. It's a commencement speech for graduation, right? It's the same kind of speech I'm going to hear at my graduation if I go to it for college here in the next few weeks. We're going to hear the same speech, and you hear it at every graduation ceremony from high school. Follow your dreams, live your dreams, do your, the road's going to be hard, but you can do it because you graduated high school or college or whatever. It's the same thing every time, right? And for them to add a little inspiration to it, I don't think there's anything wrong with that. For them to give their spin and say, hey, I feel that, women should focus on being homemakers and rebuilding the American family. Because I feel like that's the American family, the nucleus of families has been kind of destroyed by the economy being the way it is to make everyone have to go back to work. The woman, the man, everyone has to go work. I know families where the husband and wife work, and then some of the older kids that are eligible to work or old enough to work go to work to help pay bills too. And honestly, kids shouldn't have to do that. Kids should be focusing on school and having fun with their friends and living their life and experiencing things as they grow up. And the mother should be, helping guide them to making the right decisions. And the father should be there for giving fatherly advice while he, helps, while he pays the rent mortgage and pays the car bills and everything else. That's the nucleus of the family that has been destroyed by us just getting away from what we, from what we know. But that's my take anyways. It's the way I feel anyways. Any last words on this little topic here, guys?
The issue, I agree with Josh to an extent. The fact that we're in a new age and living the old ways just don't make sense anymore. It's nice. It was fun while it lasted, but everything is morphing and evolving and getting worse and getting better and doing this and doing that. It's just how it's going to be until it finds a place that it likes to stay. And eventually life is going to weed out the stupid again.
You're not wrong.
No.
Here's the thing. Like, what's that speech I was listening to? I can't remember. It's the hold on. I'm gonna look it up exactly how it reads, but let's see.
Oh, by the way, Jeff Bezos is the richest person right now in the U.S.
Figures.
Just over Elon Musk.
Oh, you mean it's not damn it, his name flew right out of my head.
Zuckerberg.
Not Steve Jobs, the other guy.
Bill Gates?
Bill Gates, thank you.
He's number 8.
Yeah. He was number 1 for the longest fucking time.
Yep.
Yeah, for quite a few years. But
Zuckerberg's number 3.
As soon as Amazon kicked off and stuff like that, Bill Gates got left in the dust.
Yeah. But Bill Gates can live comfortably for the rest of his life. But it doesn't matter how rich Bill Gates is now. He can live comfortably for the rest of his life. He could spend thousands of dollars every day, every month, and he could die pissing money away, and he would never run out of money.
Right.
Yeah. So his net worth is $128.5 billion right now.
Yeah.
Here's the speech, the little quote I wanted to quote real quick. Hard times create strong men. Strong men create good times. Good times create weak men, and weak men create hard times. It's a vicious circle. Like, I feel like we're in that good times phase right now, where We feel like everything's all hunky dory. Granted, we're struggling, like our nation is struggling, but like we have all these people out here saying, "Oh, don't talk about transgender. That's against the rules. You got to say he, shim, and shim he, and all these other freaking adjectives that make no sense, right?" Like I said, topic for another day. There's two chromosomes that differentiate the difference between a male and a female. That's all there is. There's not 76 different genders. Anyways, different topic for a different day, right? So I feel like we're in the good times scenario right now, where we're about to be in the hard times. Like we're on the precipice of becoming that hard times lifestyle, to where, boy, we're going to be struggling. Right?
I don't know who fucking lied to you and pissed in your Cheerios, but we are not having good times. We're having hard times because everybody's broke. So I don't know.
Here's the thing, though. I feel like we're in the good times section, because if we were in the hard time section, where are all the strong men that are going to come out of this? Look, we're in a series of a bunch of these, like, if World War III started right now and the U.S. got involved, I'm sorry to say it, Chris, but we're fucked.
Gen X.
Like our military would do their best. Our military would do their best, and trust me, they're good. Like and I'm not trying to say this and brag because I served in the military or whatever. Like, I'm trying to say that our military is the best in the world. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. We can sit here and debate it and sit there and say, "Oh, China's got." Well, who cares? China does not have the veteran status that we do when it comes to fighting wars. China does not have the weaponry we have.
That's because they don't let anybody go, and
I know
everybody's scared of nuclear war with China and Russia.
Our U.S. Navy, just our Pacific Fleet, which entails like 6 aircraft carriers and their battle groups and stuff like that, is larger than every other world's Navy combined. That's just our Pacific Fleet. Then we have an Atlantic Fleet. And then we have a fleet that sits overseas all the time. We have like there's like what? I think they said there's the 2 major fleets, which are Atlantic and Pacific. But in between all of those, there's 12 different fleets of ships that we have. And one of those Pacific or Atlantic coast fleets are bigger than all the world's navies combined. So just in a naval aspect, we have the edge, hands down. And then if you watch these videos on YouTube, there's a few of them where they talk about the size of militaries, and it goes by like the smallest and it keeps working its way up, whatever like that. Like, we may be like number 4 or 5 now on the list of largest militaries. But we're the most seasoned. We're the most seasoned veterans. Most of our veterans that get out of the military, like myself, like Josh, still have the capability of fighting. Like, if war breaks out tomorrow, you're damn right I'm going to be one defending my country. And we have more of those. More seasoned veterans per capita than any other country in the world.
We're not having a measuring contest here. I was just saying that China has a big military because they don't let anybody go, and whoever does want to leave, they just fucking shoot in the head like the fucking Nazis.
Well, no, it's their military is conscription. They're forced to serve 2 years in their military, regardless of status or anything else. Like, from the time they turn 18 to the time they're 20, they have to be serving in the military, as long as they're physically able to serve, right?
Yeah.
So it's mandatory. The United States is one of like 5 countries, maybe more now, that don't do that. Like, I think we're the 100% only voluntary service military. The rest of them have like random drafts or raffles, whatever like that, where if your number gets called, you have to go serve.
Isn't Germany like what Big Hoss was talking about? Like, they have to serve if they're able to.
Yeah. Germany is one of them. Yeah. What I'm saying is like, is like every country. We are the only country in this on this earth that runs our military the way we do. It's a 100% voluntary service, right? We haven't ran a draft since Vietnam. Although they are talking about bringing the draft back, which me and Josh are clear. I served 8 years. Well, I served 11 years in the military. I don't have to. They can call me and I'll just laugh at them if I want to. I mean, if they call me and give me an offer, hey, man, we need you back. We want you to train some soldiers and help us get ready for combat. Absolutely. Why would I do that? Because I want, the guys going down range to have the best knowledge about what they're going to have, what they're going to experience. But it's weird because basic training is different. You learned, and Josh will tell you, we learned in basic training, and then we got to Iraq, and it was like, throw that playbook out. You're on the insurgent playbook now, and it's different than what you learned in basic training.
Yeah.
It's different when it's guerrilla warfare. Here's the thing, like the United States kind of perfected guerrilla warfare during the Revolutionary War when we beat the British. But other countries use it against us, and we're like, whoa, we don't know how to fight against it. But yet we perfected it. Anyways. No, I mean, getting on to, we went way off topic there, but it's all good. That was a good conversation right there. Like I said, I'm not worried about China. I'm not worried about, but if World War III broke out today, I think we'd be screwed. Our military would hold their own. Because our military would hold their own, but you've got all these people that want to identify as freaking pickles and whatever else they want to identify as, and they want to be gay cucumbers or whatever. I mean, I'm just saying that I've heard some of the most ridiculous things. It makes no sense. Is that, and then you've got all these anti-gun people that are in this country that are like, well, guns are the problem. Guns are icky and all this other stuff. And you're just like, come on, man. Like in World War II, pre-World War II, when Pearl Harbor got hit, what did that do? Oh, people flooded the recruiting stations. Flooded. They had to turn people away because they were turning people away because well, you have asthma. Yeah, sorry, you can't serve. And these people that would get turned away from being able to serve would go home and commit suicide because they couldn't serve their country. Dude, nowadays, if another Pearl Harbor happened on U.S. soil, I guarantee there wouldn't be a line at the recruiting station. There'd be a handful of people showing up. Let me go. Let's do this. And the military would be taking them all just hands down, like, yep, you're going. Yep, you're going. Yep, you're going. Because they would have no choice. Josh. Hold on. I'm gonna send this to Haas too, so he can see it. If you have to look at it later too, Haas, that's fine. But saved photos, I'll send. Here we go. There you go. I just sent it to you. He's gonna go look at it. Anyways, that was a good breakup of the monotony that we had going right there. All right. On to our next subject. We've been 45 minutes into the show almost. On to the next subject, guys. All right. We talked about this earlier. Presidential elections are coming up. What'd you think, bud? For those of you watching at home,
that was
Josh
disrespectful.
No, it was not.
It was disrespectful.
Josh shared it looked like one of those cartoons, the far kind of vulgar cartoons that you would see in the calendars or in the what are they called? It's the Far Side, right? The Far Side cartoons. That's what they were. So it's like a Far Side cartoon. Why kangaroos don't have tits. And it showed these kangaroos hopping around. And you get the okay, folks at home. I hope you guys get that gist. The one viewer we have, whoever that may be, it's either Natasha or Ashley. I'm pretty sure, because I haven't seen any new viewers on here in a while. And I've hit people up on Facebook. And anyways, next topic of discussion. 45 minutes into the show, that first topic took us a while, plus the new news, whatever. We're going to get into the presidential elections. Those are heating up. I know some of the candidates have dropped out of the election. I know the three big candidates right now happen to be, of course, Donald Trump, Joe Biden, even though Joe Biden might be getting taken off the ballot, to be honest with you, and Kennedy. What's his name? Not Ted Kennedy. Is it Ted Kennedy? It is Ted Kennedy, isn't it? So, and he's running as a independent kind of thing. There's a lot of other candidates, but these are the top three, like, that have a good shot at getting it. We already know the one that a lot of people are not happy with right now, and that's the current president of the United States, Joe Biden. And the reason people aren't happy with him is because, one, I feel, and this is my personal opinion, folks, so please don't get me shut down for this, but my personal opinion is he stole the election. The mail-in balloting, the mail-in voting thing has never been a thing until all of a sudden Joe Biden wants to run for president, and they blamed it on COVID. Well, we can't, because COVID is happening, and we can't just do, yeah. Oh, Haas had to leave.
Oh, okay.
He had something happen, had to take care of. So, Haas, get taken care of whatever you got taken care of, and come back, and we'll do this next week. Get you back on the show next week. Anyways, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, my personal opinion is that Biden stole the election. That was just my thing. Like I said, mail-in voting had never been a thing. Never, ever, except for what they would mail ballots to service members overseas and American citizens overseas so they could vote, right? But that was it. But they allowed mail-in voting right here in the States, when people could easily go down and follow the COVID protocol, 6 feet, wear a mask, whatever, and vote. It wouldn't have been that hard. But yet, what was it? 80 million votes that were cast came from 80 million extra votes that were cast came from the mail-in balloting. There was something like 150 votes, 150 ballots that were cast during the 2020 election. And, that was how many registered voters there were in the United States, 150 million. And what they say, something like 180 million votes were cast. Where'd that other 30 million come from? Oh, the mail-in balloting. Well, yeah, and it was funny because there were all sorts of stories about how people were like, it's funny how my dead dog voted for Biden.
Right.
My dog that's been dead for 5 years. Or my grandmother who's been dead for 30 years. She happened to vote for Biden this year. Or some foreign national alien from another country voted. And they would allow them to vote in 2 different voting ballots. So they would go vote over here and then drive across town and vote over there. That was being allowed, right? Which is why I believe for this election, you should have to have a valid ID, state issued, and be an American citizen. It's my opinion. That's why I feel it. And if you vote in person, none of this mail-in stuff. None of it. Except for the people that are overseas, stationed over in Germany or wherever. If they want to vote, via mail-in ballot, fine. You could have them vote via the USO. I'm sure they could set up voting stations at the USOs overseas. Wouldn't be hard. But what's your take on all that?
Oh, this is a subject I don't like talking about, but
And I don't really like politics either, but sometimes we kind of have to go.
no, you're right. I think there definitely needs to be stricter policies in the voting world as far as how people vote. Yes. However that may be, like you said, people overseas, maybe the USO could set up something. I don't know. I just want somebody in office that is there for the people.
Agreed.
And that includes all the way from the Oval Office all the way down to Congress. I think we touched on this a little bit in a previous episode, but it's the same in Congress. Congress needs to have term limits, just like the president does, and that would definitely, I believe, straighten a lot of things out as far as bringing new ideas and not having old heads in office for
Right.
20, 30 years. So
it's a progression thing because like we're growing as a country, we're growing as a people.
Yes.
Like the way things were done in the 50s are not done the same way now.
Correct.
What were you going to say? You were going to say something.
Oh, it's just, I think when we do that, I think America will see a great change in what politicians do for us. Does that make sense?
Yeah, of course. We also need to, I feel like we need to keep big business out of the government, if that makes sense, right? We all know the taxpayer dollars goes to pay the senators and that's how they get money, right? That's how they get paid. Because they're being paid to do a job. They're being paid to do a job. They're being paid to vote on bills, vote on laws, put laws into effect, and to run this country and to make the best decisions possible for the people in this country, the American citizens. That's what governments are supposed to do. It's supposed to protect the people that they are controlled over, right? So we all know our tax dollars go to pay. It goes through a lot of things. It goes to pay them. It goes to pay for our school system, which, I think, our public school system is fine to the case where, with the extension of the fact that there are some states that are falling behind in education. Idaho being one of them. I live in Idaho, and I think Idaho is number 48th on the list of 50 states and worst states for education.
On that note, I'm gonna have to disagree with you. I think our education system needs more money.
No, they do.
Yes,
I agree.
Yes, I will agree. We are getting by as a nation in education, but that's all we're doing.
Right.
We need to excel in education, and I don't think without that money, the public school system cannot do that.
But here's how the federal government looks at it. If we keep them uneducated, we can continue doing what we want to do, right?
No, you're right.
It's the few that get educated. You look at how it was in Iraq, right? The leadership of Iraq was smart individuals. They knew what they were doing.
Mm-hmm.
When Saddam was in power, he knew exactly what he was doing. He would suppress the lower people so they couldn't get educated, force them to work, force them to do things. He would him and his sons would go into random villages and kidnap women that were you're the most beautiful woman in this village. You're coming with me. And if your family doesn't like it, we'll just kill them. Who cares? Right? They would just oppress people to get what they wanted.
Right.
Well, and the reason they would do that is because they knew that if people started educating themselves, they would learn how to fight back and push back. Same thing in America. People are, that's why there's such a push to, the whole free education thing, student loan forgiveness. That's what I'm talking. The whole student loan forgiveness thing is a scam to me on two different reasons. One, because if I applied, because I have student loan debt right now, if I applied for student loans, the government's going to say, "Oh yeah, we'll pay those off for you," and if we do, you have to go vote for Joe Biden, or you have to go vote for who we want you to vote for, because we paid your student loans off. And second, you have to get a job or do something that can destroy the lives of others, right? Not to mention, we're going to take that student loan money and we're going to pay you off. We're going to pay your student loans off from the money that your children are going to make. We're going to tax your children down the line. We're going to raise income tax so that when your children are old enough to have their own families, we're just going to tax the heck out of them. And when they complain to us, we're like, sorry, your dad paid his student loans off. Your dad wanted student loan forgiveness, right? Look, if I'm smart enough to go to college and earn a degree, I should be smart enough to go get a job that would pay those off and, help me pay my life, help me establish a good career in life. Just right. The way it should be. That's why I went to college. I went to college because on average, college graduates make more money. It's just a mathematical equation. I'm not saying I'm better than someone else. I'm just stating that I wanted to better my life. That's the way, if every American citizen thought the same thing, I just want to better my life. And of course, I want to worry about other people and help other people out, but I want to better my life in order to do that. What was you made sergeant in the Army?
No.
Okay. I did make sergeant in the Army, and one of my things that I was taught by my platoon sergeant and my squad leaders and stuff like that was I have to square myself away before I can lead my soldiers. Because if I'm not squared away, my soldiers, one, aren't going to respect me, and then I look like a big old piece of crap, right? So I have to be squared away in order to lead my soldiers. I feel like it's the same way, lead by example, right? That's kind of the way I'm living my life, is I'm leading by example. When, not if, but when I get my VA disability increased to 100%, I'm going to find another veteran that needs help with that, and I'm going to push to help them get their status up to 100%. Right? I'm not saying if, because it's going to happen. I'm going to get my VA disability to 100%. And then I'm going to find another veteran that's struggling with their disability rating and struggling in life, and I'm going to pull them up and reach my hand out, right? This is the way America should be working, is we should all, when we get over that next hump in our life, we need to turn around and say, hey man, give me your hand and pull you up. And when I get you up here, I want you to reach down for the next guy while I get up for the next guy. While I try to jump up and get up to the next level. And then I'm going to reach down and get you back up here to the next level with me so that we're on the same level, right? There should be obviously competition is really good when it comes to business and it helps out, but it shouldn't be like aggressive competition that's destroying lives. And that's what politics is. Politics is aggressive campaigns and aggressive, it's slander, 100% slander. Well, Joe Biden's a child molester. Why would you vote for him? That's just slander. All right. There's no 100% proof that he's molested any children. Right. these ad campaigns. This is why I don't like this time of year. Every 4 years is when all these ads start hitting the TV, and it's all about the one politician. He's just slandering the other guy, his opponent. And at the end, I approve this message. It's terrible business. Terrible business motto. You know, if I were running for any kind of political office, I wouldn't go on there and bash my opponent. I'd just go on there and be like, listen, guys, this is what I stand for. This is what I want to do as your person of government. This is what I want to do. This, and this. And people are going to be like, well, what about the other guy? I don't care what he's doing. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do for you. And if you don't like it, vote for the other guy. If you like what I have to say, vote for me. I would hope you would vote for me. I'm not pushing people to vote for me. They want to vote for me, they're going to vote for me. Yeah, that may not be a sound campaign model, but I probably won't get elected. But that's what people want is real. They want honest. They don't want to be lied to anymore.
What state do you think has the lowest difference in median earnings between college grads and non-grads?
Let's see.
And then
California.
no, lowest.
Lowest. Hold on. Arkansas?
Nope. They have a 72% difference. It's actually North Dakota at 38%.
Okay.
Who do you think has the highest difference in median earnings?
New York.
Surprisingly, no.
Hawaii. Just kidding. No, California?
State-wise, it's California, but in the country, it's actually DC.
Interesting.
So California is at 133% difference in median earnings, and DC is at 167% difference.
Well, you get a lot of these people that go into college for political sciences.
Mm-hmm.
And then as soon as they get their degree, they move to DC because they feel, oh, I'm going to make a difference in politics. And then
never see office.
No, they never do because, or they do because they embed themselves with oil tycoons or tech savvy individuals who, oh yeah, this is what we're going to do to make money. So the reason, the story I'll tell about that is George W. Bush. So Bush Jr.
Yeah.
Got elected because of his name. I'll say that. Like, he didn't have any political. I mean, his dad was CIA for a while. He was the director of the CIA, and then he was also Secretary of Defense, I think, for a little while. Bush Senior. But anyways, what did Bush Jr. do? He was in the Air National Guard during Vietnam, never deployed. Like, didn't do crap. Like, just because his dad was the president, his name, right? It's a namesake thing. And because Bush went to college because his dad paid for college, he if you ever watch that movie W, you'll see that he like partied through college. Like, he didn't pay attention in school. I'm not saying he was a bad president, but people don't understand that, people sit there and say, oh, he's a terrible president. He's, just didn't do anything for our country. Okay, well, I do like the way he responded after September 11th. As soon as those towers went down, he was like, we're going to go get these people. And exactly what he did. We found out who it was, and we attacked. Like, the United States was attacked numerous times during the Clinton administration, the administration right before him, and nothing was done. You had the bombing of the World Trade Center. The first time, 95, 96, during the Clinton administration. You had the USS Cole bombing in 2000. All these attacks, these terrorist attacks, and they even claimed them. They're like, we did it, and Clinton did nothing. the French Foreign Legion had captured Osama bin Laden after the bombing of the World Trade Center. Hey, Bill Clinton, we got him. You want him? Nah, we're good. Let him be. Let him be. So September 11th could have been avoided. I mean, another attack could have been planned. I'm not saying it never would have happened, but another attack could have happened. Someone else. There's other Al Qaeda leaders out there. Anyways, so I do like that Bush went straight after the enemy right when we were attacked. He's like, okay, I'm not going to stand for this attack, and he did. He unleashed the dogs of war, right? But the one thing I always criticize him for doing is he got rich off the wars. He profited. Him and the vice president, Dick Cheney, got uber loaded off the wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. Because if you recall, Dick Cheney owns a company called Halliburton. And who was supplying the military all their food and everything else over there in Iraq and Afghanistan? If you recall, a lot of those trailers and stuff said Halliburton on them. So Bush and Cheney could tax the American taxpayers. Those plates of food that we ate in Iraq and Afghanistan, one plate of food was $25 to the American taxpayer. And it was priced by the plate. So if I took a second plate and put it over the top of my other plate to walk back to my chew to go sleep and eat and play video games or whatever, relax while I waited for my next mission to show up, I just cost the American taxpayers $50. They brought in caterers. I know in Iraq we had third country caterers. They came from Kuwait or Oman, Yemen, or any of these other countries over there. They came from these other countries, India, Pakistan. They came all the way in from these other countries just to cook the food for the Americans. How many millions of dollars were spent on catering services for the U.S. military? And I'm not complaining about the food. It was delicious. But I'm just saying that this is the kind of corruption that we have in our upper echelons of government. And it doesn't just stop with Bush. It didn't start with Bush, and it hasn't ended yet. I think the last uncorrupt president was Trump. And people want to bash on me for being a Trump supporter, but you look at the way the economy was being run under Trump. He ran it like a business. Fuel prices were lower than they had ever been in like 20 years under the Trump administration. The economy was flourishing. Businesses were making money. Small businesses were sprouting up out of nowhere. And those small businesses are the backbone of this country. Small business owners are the ones that make things happen. When you keep business here and local, when you're not buying stuff from China or from other countries, when you're buying stuff that's made right here in the United States, you're supporting your economy. You're building your economy. You're making your economy better. And that's what people don't understand. That's why with the new president, the one that's in office now, national wages have been destroyed. And it's funny because inflation has gone up. Everything costs more money nowadays. And so in order to fix that, they raise the cost of gas, they raise the cost of food, and then they say, well, we're just going to give everybody a couple dollar raise. They should be fine, right? Here's the problem with the current administration in office. They go out and they buy these small businesses. They buy them out. They force them out of business. All the employees go to the unemployment office and file for unemployment. And then they hire them back and charge them less. And it's a big scheme. They destroy the economy, and then they say, "Oh, well, jobs have increased." No, they haven't. The first day Biden took office, 11 million jobs were lost when he decided to stop the pipeline up in North Dakota. 11 million jobs were lost that same day, the very day he took office, January 20th, 2021. He took office, 11 million jobs were lost. So when those guys go out and get jobs elsewhere, it spikes up. Oh, we created 11 million new jobs. No, you didn't. You got rid of 11 million jobs, and then they went to work elsewhere because they couldn't work in your industry anymore. By the way, that was a big scam between Warren Buffett and Joe Biden, who, if you look back and you look at the records, Warren Buffett was a huge supporter of the Joe Biden campaign. There's a reason for that. He helped Joe Biden win the election because he knew Joe Biden would sign off on the oil pipeline destruction. No more oil pipeline means all that fuel, all that oil has to be put onto what? Trains. Who owns those trains? Warren Buffett. Warren Buffett owns the second largest railroad company in this country. It's a Class 1 railroad. It's called Burlington Northern Santa Fe. So BNSF, you see those trains rolling all over the country. They own the second largest amount of railroad track right behind Union Pacific. And of course, Warren Buffett has his hand in just about everything. You can look at the umbrella corporation, Berkshire Hathaway, what companies they control. Dairy Queen, GE, General Electric, Clayton Homes. They own just about everything. And to me, that sounds a lot like a monopolization. And it's that kind of partnership with rich people like that has destroyed this government. It's corruption, straight up corruption. These politicians get paid by the oil tycoons or the big rich bigwigs, the billionaires, to support their agendas and build their businesses. And when they get elected, when Biden got elected, what did he do? He went and started supporting his benefactors, the ones that put him in office, and he started helping them grow their businesses. Anyways, Josh, I feel like I'm taking over this whole conversation.
You're good. You're talking about stuff I do not know. As you talk, I am looking up stuff. So on the topic that you're talking about.
Well, and this isn't stuff that I just learned overnight. I didn't, this is stuff I've been researching for years now. And
Right.
it's nice. It's nice that I've been to college. It's great. I'm not bragging again that I'm a bachelor degree. I have a bachelor's degree. I'm just saying that in my years in college, it does, education opens your mind. It expands your horizons, whatever you want to call it. And it opens your mind to being able to see the truth behind things. So you start questioning things. You start looking at this and looking at that differently. You start looking at things differently, right?
Right.
And I've always claimed to say that, I'm kind of independent. I like some things that Democrats say. I like some things that Republicans say. So that should make me an independent, correct? Well, it feels like that. But when you start really digging into how corrupt the Democrats are right now, I mean, the Republicans are corrupt too. I'm not going to lie. All politicians are corrupt. But when you start looking into how corrupt the Democrats are right now, it's sickening. They're forcing us into a civil war. They want us to fight. They want us to go to war with each other because they have the power right now to control the military. There's a movie, and I've been wanting to see it. It comes out on iTunes the 27th, so I've got a few more days to wait. That's Monday, right? Yeah, 27th, Memorial Day. Interesting how it comes out on iTunes that day. It's called Civil War. It's about a second civil war right here in the United States. A couple states break off and they decide, to hell with our government, we're going to go to war with them. And so they start fighting. Some Western states like Texas, California, which I don't see California siding with any kind of rebellion, to be honest with you. But Texas and some other Western states have sided together, and they would decide to go to war with the United States. In a private message. Oh, Big Hoss let me in. That was a while ago. But no, yeah, it's. I'm sure you're seeing a lot in your researching here, but
It's
insane
crazy
that-
to see what he owns
well, Berkshire Hathaway with
or has.
Warren Buffett. Yeah,
Yeah, or what he has, even just investment stakes in.
oh yeah, it's insane. And he's not even the richest man in America.
No.
He used to be. Warren Buffett used to be, because I know he's the richest landowner in the United States, aside from maybe the Disney Corporation, because they own a lot of land. Believe it or not, Disney owns like pretty much the entire city of Orlando, Florida.
But so you got American Express, Bank of America, Coca-Cola. He's 5% owner of Apple, General Motors. I think I saw Dairy Queen somewhere in one
Yeah.
of these.
Yeah, he owns Dairy Queen,
Kraft,
Kraft
Chevron.
macaroni and cheese. Yeah.
Well, Kraft Heinz Company. Sorry.
Oh, Kraft
know if
Heinz.
that's-
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
yeah. But yeah, it's just crazy to see how much he actually owns.
Well, and the Berkshire Hathaway Company is like a real estate firm, like one of the
Right.
biggest real estate firms in the country. They deal with like real estate and like what do you call it, like entrepreneur ownership type stuff. So like
Right.
they're like an umbrella corporation for all these other smaller businesses.
Yeah. Geico.
Yeah, Geico. He owns a Geico. I'm telling you, the guys. And here's my take. Small little sidebar on auto insurance. Okay, the government made it
Scam.
mandatory. Everyone, huh?
Scam.
It is a scam. It's 100% scam. And look, people are going to watch this show later. I'm going to prove it to you that insurance companies are a scam. Okay. Geico, for example, let's say they have 1 million customers. They have more than that, I will say. They've probably got 35 million customers, to be honest with you. Let's say they have 1 million customers. Each one of those customers pays them $100 a month. That's $100 million a month they're making in just those million customers. Okay. Now let's say 10% of those customers get into an accident and they have to pay $1,000 premium each. So 10% of 100, 10% of 100 is 10, right?
Yep.
I said a million customers. 10% of a million is 100,000. Okay. 100,000 times 1,000 is 100. That doesn't make sense. 100 million doesn't make any sense at all. Oh no, they're paying their premium, right? So they're paying the premium. That was 100,000 people getting in accidents. So 100,000 times, I don't know, what it would cost to replace a car, $60,000 or so. That doesn't make sense either. Those numbers aren't adding up. Either way, I looked it up. Like, what percentage of people get into accidents per month, or for example, let's say, or even per year, because you could average that out. That 100 customers, or that 100 customers, 1 million customers. Excuse me, 1 million customers that pay $100,000 a month. Let's do the math on the whole thing. 35 million customers, let's say.
1 in 63.
1 in 63. Okay. So let's see. Times 100. Whoops. They're making they average probably $3.5 billion a month is what they bring in. And then 1 in 63. So let's do. I'm trying to figure the math on this one. 35 million divided by 63. That can't be right.
So
Yeah,
it averages
that's
out to roughly 14,500 accidents per day, or one crash every 6 minutes. I know you're trying to do other math.
14,500, you said?
Yeah. In one day.
Times 30. 420,000 accidents a month. Now these accidents are going to differ. You're talking about fender benders all the way up to total damage to the car, right?
Yeah. So these numbers are from 2020, by the way.
Times 60. We'll say $60,000. They're paying. Okay, so they're paying about $25 billion in repairs. Less than that, actually, because I did the highest amount. They're paying out about $25 billion a month, or a month, when they're making, what did I say, 35 million times 100. That math still doesn't add up. All I'm trying to say is that, like, when you look at the way insurance is set up, I could never get into an accident in my entire life. My entire life, I pay $100 a month for the rest of my life and never get into an accident. Am I getting that money back? No. Do I get compensation for it at least? No. That $100 a month goes to this company to pay for someone else's accident. And then my premium will go up because the company has to make more money to compensate for the other accidents that I wasn't in. It's just a big scam to me. I don't feel it's even worth it.
Yeah, maybe this math can help you. Car insurance average cost $150 a month, or $1,760 a year.
Okay, so $1,760 times however many customers they have.
You want average number of customers?
Let's just say Geico. How many customers does Geico have right now?
Let's see. They insure more than 28 million vehicles.
That means on average they bring in $49 billion a year. That's what's coming in. That's the income. Now we have to consider the fact that people get into accidents. But see, here's the thing: if I get into a fender bender and my premium's $1,000, I'm paying that $1,000, and they're paying the extra cost. So if the cost of my rebuild my car takes $3,000, I'm paying them $1,000, and they're forking out the other two. So they're not paying the full cost for the repairs. And most of the time, if you have certain insurance companies, these repair shops are giving the insurance company a break, a tax break.
Right.
Oh, you have Geico? Well, we work with Geico, so we're gonna charge Geico 50% less to fix your car. So that way Geico pockets more money.
So let's see here. As of 2023, let me make sure this number's right before I tell you. Hold on. The average cost to repair a vehicle. Now, it doesn't say what type of repairs, but just in
Right.
general, $4,700.
Okay.
Hold on. The average rate increase after an at-fault accident is about $56 per month. So you
So
take
it
that
goes
one,
$200.
yeah. So you're up over
Yeah.
$200 at that point.
Right.
The other insurance scam, health insurance.
Well, and the other health insurance is definitely a scam. But then you even go into life insurance. That's a big time scam because here's the thing. You pump money into your life insurance policy your whole life. And then when you die, where's that money go? Well, if you have a will, it goes to your kids, right?
Yeah.
You would think. No, they're going to tax it first.
Well,
government's going to tax it first.
for the beneficiary.
Yeah, the beneficiary, but the government's going to tax it first.
Yes.
$250,000 life insurance policy that gets taxed at like 30%. So you're looking at, what was that? 30, 60, $70,000 taken out. Just because your old man died, now you get $70,000 less than what you should have gotten. And he saved his entire life putting into that life insurance policy just so you could have it when he passed away, right? So you could better his children's life. No, it doesn't work that way.
What about the death
not only are they
tax?
going to tax you, but are you getting all that? No. If your dad's house isn't paid off, guess where that money's going?
Yeah.
It's going to go pay his house off. It's going to go satisfy all of his debts first. And then taxed, and then whatever's left over will come to you. Once the government has all theirs and their bills are all paid. To include funeral costs, which are skyrocketing nowadays.
The federal estate tax, or better known as the death tax, ranges from 18 to 40% of the inheritance amount.
Told you 30% was about an average.
Yep.
That's what I was going off 30%, but all the way up to 49%. That's crazy.
It's crazy, yeah.
Yeah, that's to me is the biggest scam. And that's why if I were to ever have a life insurance policy, and that's what I've been researching, how some of these bigwigs get rich. Uh-oh. Does somebody want to make an appearance? Come here. Come here. You want to be on camera? Come here, buddy. Come here. Say hi to Josh. Say hi, Josh.
What's up?
Chewbacca. Come here. Come here.
Chewbacca.
Come side to the camera. Yeah, you're going to be part of this show too. You know that, right? You're going to be a staple on the show. Okay? I've had people ask about you when they come on the show. Where's your dog? Where's Chewbacca? How's he doing? Yeah, people ask about you. You're a famous dog now. You're all over the interweb. Okay. We'll see your girlfriend now. Anyways, yeah, talking about insurance, like life insurance, stuff like that. It is a big scam. But this is how these rich people get rich. Because what they do is they build up these life insurance policies. And then people don't know that you can borrow against those life insurance policies while you're still alive. So you borrow against it, right? But instead of borrowing it to go on vacation, borrowing it to, I don't know, waste on a new car or put the addition on the house, right? They borrow it and they find something that will make an income for them. Maybe if they're into truck driving, for example, and it's, maybe they go buy a semi-truck, truck and trailer.
Mm-hmm.
They don't pay cash, but whatever they don't buy the whole thing outright, but they go spend $100,000. They drop a $30,000 payment on a truck, a $30,000 payment on a trailer, which reduces the cost of both. They take the other $40,000, and they use that for licensing, registrations, fuel costs to operating costs for the first year. With
I'll be right back.
$100,000, you can start your own trucking company. Oh, you'll be right back. So while Josh is off, I'll finish my sentence. But yeah, these people that make these that make money, they dig into their life insurance policies, and they when they dig into their life insurance policies, they go out and they buy stuff that creates income. There's a book I read called Rich Dad Poor Dad. I still have it somewhere. It's in a box probably because I moved here in December in this house, and I still haven't unpacked all my boxes. Some of them are in storage. But anyways, what I was saying, Josh, a minute ago is these rich people will go out and they'll use their life insurance policy money. They'll dig into it, $100,000 on a $300,000 policy or whatever. They'll take $100,000 out. They'll go buy a semi truck. They won't pay for it all in cash. They'll go put 30 on the truck, 30 on the trailer, the other 40 in operating costs, fuel costs, whatever gets them going down the road, right? Licensing, registration to get your own authority to drive is like $5,000. To license a truck for a year, to license and register a truck for a year is like something like $2,500. If I ever got a trucking company going, I would be out here in Idaho because when you register a trailer, it's for life of the trailer. Anyways, so yeah. And then they go down the road and they make, I love doing the math on trucking stuff because I know how to do it. It's interesting, right? So they make, let's say, $30,000 a month. No, they make more than that because you're going to make $40,000 because you're an owner up, right? Minus, we'll say, $20,000 in operating costs. You're making $20,000 a month, and you just created a source of income for yourself, right? Now you take 1,000 of that and you put it back towards your life insurance policy. You build that back up to $300,000, whatever, and maybe in a year after you've built it back up quite a bit, you go take another $100,000 out, and you go hire someone like Josh to drive down the road for you. Josh, I'm going to pay you, $6,000-$7,000 a month. I'm still going to pocket 13 grand and put that towards my life insurance policy. I'll build that back up. And when I get it built back up to where I want it, I'm going to go buy a third truck. I'm going to go hire Big Haas to drive my third truck for me. I'm going to pay him $7,000 or $8,000 a month. I'm still pocketing $12,000 plus $12,000 from Josh, plus my $20,000 that I'm pocketing. So now I'm making, 60 grand a month. And I've done that all in about 3 years.
Right.
So that's how they build, and that's how they build generational wealth. Because they build their wealth up to where they don't need a life insurance policy, so they can use that policy as their own bank. They can use it as their own bank account.
So there are ways to limit how much the government takes once you die.
It's called trust fund.
One, yeah, you got the trust. There's you could literally just give your assets away because it's tax free.
Yes.
Yep.
A one-time donation.
Giving away money to charitable organizations.
Yep.
And then the last one, just enjoy your money.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Spend it yourself.
Why not? Well, here's the thing. Look, the only thing is guaranteed is death, right?
Right.
So if I saved up and I said, I'm going to put for the next 5 years, I'm going to put $100 a month away, and that's going to go to my funeral. Okay. That's 1,200 plus 1,200 times 5, that's 60,000. Well, $6,000. Excuse me. It's not $6,000. That wouldn't pay for a funeral. But if I put that into let's say a CD or something like that, and let it kind of compound interest, or if I put it into a 401k that any bank account that has compound interest, right? Just let it sit and and as I'm adding more to it, obviously the value is going up, which means the compound interest is going up too, right? Instead of getting whatever 7% or 8% interest on my bank account, I'm getting that same 7 or 8% on, instead of $100, I'm getting on $200, and then I'm getting on $300. I'm getting on 4 and 5, and it goes up, right? The more money you put in, the more interest you gain. The more interest you gain, the more the price goes up. It's a good way. You got to find those bank accounts that are compound interest. Anyways, that, like I said, that's how these rich people build generational wealth. That's how the American families, when they talk about these families that are the American families, how they're the wealthiest families in the United States, and they've been that way for however long. That's how they did it. They would build and then in that book I was reading, it was Rich Dad Poor Dad is what it's called. Instead of buying luxuries, buy investments, buy incomes, right? So buy things that are going to make you money. You know, the reason I went out and I bought this microphone, this camera that I'm viewing, that I'm streaming my show on, is because I bought these things because they're investments to me. I can make money if my YouTube channel explodes and I start getting 10,000 viewers and all this other stuff. I can make money on this show. I can make money doing this. People could come in there and drop money in the comment section to get their comments put at the head of the line, so I read them out. You know, there's ways to make money on the internet, on YouTube, right? I'm going to be discovering them over the course of the next few months because I'm done with school on Tuesday, so I don't have anything else to do except for, work a job, pay my bills, and figure out how to make money on YouTube. And until I start getting my VA disability increased, I'm going to do whatever I can to make as much money as I can per month to build my generational wealth. I could die 10 years from now, tomorrow, 50 years from now, and have mountains of money in my bank account. But that doesn't build generational wealth. It doesn't build a family of generational wealth. That money, like I said, either gets taxed the hell out of when I die, or I move it to a trust fund and my kids burn through it like it's freaking going out of style, or I could build generational wealth. I could use my time and my money and build businesses. And as those businesses make me money, obviously I'm profiting off those. I'm living my best life. And then when I pass away, those businesses go to my children. And now they've got wealth that's building up. And then as they build those businesses and start their own businesses and start building those, they're building the generational wealth for their children. When they pass away, when my kids pass away, my grandkids take over their companies and start building their own generational wealth, it's just going to start growing and growing and growing. So, like I said, this is my thing. When I'm in a position to start making a couple $1,000s a month with my podcast, I'm going to sink it back into my podcast. I'm going to maybe upgrade my computer system, my setup, maybe get a couple monitors, a different camera setup or whatever. I'm going to figure it out. I'm going to keep increasing, keep making the show better. So that people will come in and more people will watch, more people will donate money to the show. And then maybe I start giving stuff away on the show. Hey guys, whoever, I don't know, we'll win contests, give T-shirts away, give autographed footballs away, whatever, whatever. Now we have a viewer. Maybe. I don't know who it is. Whoever you are, viewer, say hi in the YouTube chat. But yeah, that's how they build generational wealth. We've kind of talked about everything on the list, but we are kind of entering the end of the show. I did have one more topic of discussion I want to talk to you tonight. Of course, you brought up earlier that it is still Military Appreciation Month.
Yes.
It is still Mental Health Awareness Month. And you also said it's Motorcycle Riders Month?
Yep.
Nice.
Oh,
It's
hi,
Chicken
chicken
Nuggets.
nuggets.
What's up? Welcome to the show.
Speaking of the future, did you plan on doing a show on Monday?
Why don't we do? I'll do a show on Monday. I don't work
I was just
Monday at the
curious.
pawn shop. Let's do it. Let's do a Monday show. We're going to do a Memorial Day show, special Memorial Day show. For those of you who don't know what Memorial really is, people think, we remember our family that have passed on. Family, friends, the ones that have passed away, the ones that are gone, right? And if you're a veteran like me or Josh, you'll go to a cemetery and visit family at the cemetery. Sorry, I'm making a calendar for Monday's show now. Sweet. We look forward to seeing you on Monday, Chicken Nuggets.
Are you
For real.
Are you gonna change the time, or are you gonna have it this late on Monday?
No. We can change the time because I don't, unless my schedule at my new job has been posted. If they work me on Monday, I'm pretty sure I scheduled Monday off because of the fact that I was supposed to wink work at the pawn shop. I was actually scheduled at the pawn shop, but the pawn shop's closed Monday. I still get paid for Monday because I'm scheduled for Monday, but I'm going to get paid for Monday's hours. Anyways, let's say we do it earlier so that, we can all get a good night's sleep that night, not be up so late.
You want to do like 6 to 8 or something like that?
Yeah, let's do 6 to 8 that evening. I'll just get done barbecuing or something like that. I'm gonna make some burgers or something, Monday. Why not, right? And I know it's not about barbecue.
Right.
Huh?
As long as it doesn't interfere with anything you're doing. I just threw out in time.
Oh, yeah. No. 6 to 8. 6 to 8 Monday, we're gonna do another show. So Chicken Nuggets, mark that on your calendar, and 6 to 8 Mountain Standard Time, by the way. Mark that on your calendar, and I want you to go blast out like 3 friends and be like, yo, come check out this podcast. It's my friend Josh and some goofy guy with a Kansas City hat on. Pretty cool. Anyways, Monday, people are going to go visit their loved ones at the cemeteries, correct? The ones that have passed away and gone. Josh, tell me if you know what this is when it comes to grave sites.
I do not.
You never heard of the penny, the dime, the nickel, and the quarter theory or situation? All right, so.
Have not.
Okay, so. This is for veterans. This is for military vets and stuff like that. Okay. This is a reason why. So why don't you touch this? Like, some lady was appalled. I was reading an article, this is months ago, about how she was appalled that she went to a gravesite of her father who had served in the military. And she saw all these quarters, nickels, dimes, and pennies on the headstone. And she was just like, why the heck would people leave all this change on the headstone? Well, there's a reason behind that.
I'm reading that now, by the way.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. The meaning is really cool. So
Yes.
if you served in the military and someone else has served in the military and they're passed away, you put a penny on their gravesite stating that you visited their grave. Okay. The nickel. I think the nickel is.
Here, I got you.
Yeah.
So the penny is just someone has visited the grave.
Like
The
military
nickel is
visit.
Just as someone. The nickel
Okay.
is the visitor and the deceased trained at boot camp together.
Okay.
The dime, the visitor served with the deceased in some capacity.
Okay.
And the quarter, the visitor was with the deceased veteran when he or she died.
There you go. That is the meaning behind the coins. So if you ever go to a cemetery and you see coins on the grave sites, on the tombstones, now you know why. And so Memorial Day, we go visit the cemeteries here in Idaho Falls. Ashley's mother is buried here in a cemetery here. I take a pocket full of pennies. Nobody I served with is buried anywhere here near here. Matter of fact, my buddy AJ, who passed away, who was killed in action May 7th, 2007, in Baghdad, Iraq. He's buried in just outside of Phoenix, Arizona, I believe. He's originally from New Jersey, but what's that?
Sorry. To clarify, the penny is veteran or civilian.
Okay, gotcha.
It doesn't
Okay.
matter. Yep.
Cool. But you visited that service member's grave.
Correct.
Perfect. That's a good. So civilians can do this too. You people that aren't military service, there's nothing wrong with that, by the way. You can take a pocket full of pennies to a graveyard this Memorial Day as you're walking around placing flowers on your loved ones' graves. Drop a penny on a couple service members' graves. Let them know that you're thinking about them. You know, May happens to be Military Appreciation Month. It also happens to be Mental Health Awareness Month. And then it also happens to be Motorcycle Month. So the first two mentioned are actually very important to me, military appreciation and mental health awareness. Those are super important to me. I know they are to Josh too.
Yes.
We talk all the time about the number of service members who take their own lives every day, veterans or active duty military people. That's 22 a day. That's 22 too many. The suicide numbers for civilians or just the United States in general is astounding. I think it's close to 122 people per day commit suicide in this country, which is absurd. And that's way too many. And so we need to bring the awareness. What? What'd you say?
No, I just didn't want to interrupt.
Oh, no, go ahead.
If anybody wants to know what happens to the change that is left at these grave sites, it's usually placed in a designated fund to help maintain the cemetery grounds. So just so everyone knows, it's not just put in somebody's pocket at the end of the day.
Well, that's good. That's good though. That's good to know as well. But yeah, it's kind of lost my train of thought there, but that was a good point you brought up.
Mental health.
If you know,
Suicide.
like I said, if you know someone that's struggling, there are numbers you can call and get them help. If you personally are struggling, hold on, what did Chicken Nugget say? It's actually the most beautiful, heartbreaking thing I've ever seen. Thanks for putting that out there for everyone, and also thank you for all of your service. I appreciate that, Chicken Nuggets. That's awesome. Thank you for that kind words.
Thank you for that.
Yeah,
support.
absolutely. It really is cool. I learned about it right after I got out of the military. I saw my brother-in-law putting pennies and stuff on tombstones, and I was like, "What are you doing?" And he told me, about it, and I was like, "Wow, that's actually really profound, really cool." And so, one of these days, hopefully not anytime soon, I will be putting, other items, dimes and quarters onto. Well, I can only put one quarter on one tombstone. I was there when he passed away. My buddy AJ, that we just talked about a few minutes ago. I can put one on his grave because I was there that day. But dimes for people I served with, right? Nickels were if you served with them in some capacity.
Nickels were boot camp.
Oh, boot camp. Okay. Dimes were if you served with them in some capacity. Okay, cool.
Yep.
I know I do have. This is why I said suicide prevention is really serious. Is a serious thing for me because I learned, I think last year, that one of my buddies I served with in Iraq, 2 tours of duty to Iraq with this guy. He took his life a few years ago. It's been probably 8 or 9 years since he killed himself, but it's just, I found out like a year ago, maybe. And that's incredible because I mean, the guy he was an outstanding guy, good soldier, just an outstanding individual. So that's why me and Josh like to talk about suicide prevention all the time, guys. Not just military suicide prevention, but everyone. And it just so happens that Josh and I have been on this show at least twice this month together, and we've talked about mental health awareness, suicide prevention, 2 things that are huge issues in our country, not just our country, but anywhere really. I mean, if you know somebody that's struggling or you're struggling yourself, call someone, a friend, family member, a hotline. There are so many hotlines out there for suicide prevention. Just call somebody, please. Don't think that taking your life is the answer, because it's not. All it does is destroys people's lives here on earth that are left behind. We as family members, loved ones, wonder to ourselves, why? Where did we go wrong? We start blaming ourselves. I had a lot of survivor's guilt when my buddy was killed in Iraq right in front of me. I thought it should have been me. I mean, and he was killed in action. It wasn't even suicide. I watched another soldier commit suicide right in front of me when I was on CQ one night. And I called, we tried talking him out of it, and I called the staff duty, and the staff duty came down, and he brought the platoon sergeant and everything else, and the guy still took his life right in front of us. And there are people that are just done with life, but they need to understand that they don't have to be. There's alternate ways to get through life without having to struggle so hard. And we all struggle. We all hit rock bottom from time to time. I get that, but I don't feel like suicide is the answer. It's not to me. I've even stated multiple times that even if my life were to be a complete train wreck and I feel like there's nothing else I can do to fix my life, I have too much to live for. I've got 3 amazing children who I love with all my heart. I've got family members. I've got amazing brothers like Josh here. I've got, I've got channels. I've got people. I'm never alone. And I know for a fact that if I was ever thinking about committing suicide, I could just call Josh. And Josh could call me anytime, day or night, doesn't matter. Whatever I'm doing, I'm dropping it. I don't care. If I have a job and they get pissed off at me, I'll tell them to F off. Listen, this is more important to me than any job, is my family, my brothers, my sisters, the people I love and care about.
Right. So on that note, without getting too personal in my business here,
sure,
I have to go to a court-appointed class each week, and the people who run that actually So they run classes every day, all day, for people in certain situations. And one of the big things this last week was 2 people from 2 of their other groups had actually committed suicide. So it happens closer to home each day, it seems, at least from what I've seen. And I mean, obviously I didn't know those people, but like Nathan said, if anybody needs help, you got 2 people right here. Call us, reach out to us, however, or find somebody that you know.
Yeah.
No one's gonna judge you for needing help. But to lose somebody you love or care about deeply to suicide is very, very saddening and heartbreaking, to say the least. So
100%.
reach out, use the numbers, use the resources, and just get the help that you need, or help somebody else.
Absolutely. 100%. Matter of fact, what I'm doing here, I'm going to find the suicide hotline number,
Oh,
crisis hotline number 2.
988.
Okay, so they've actually changed it.
Yep.
Yeah, this is simple. This is how simple it is, people. Yeah, and edit. No, I need to make a new one. Save. Make a new banner. I will get rid of that one for now. First of all, that's my YouTube channel, guys. You can always come on here and talk to me about it. I want these banners up here, not. Let me get rid of this one. Here we go.
You can put that up on the screen too.
I'm doing it right now. Yes, hold on. They've changed it. It used to be like a 1-800 number, whatever, 1888 or whatever.
Right.
That right there, out here, this 988. That is the new suicide hotline number. That's simple. You dial 988 on your phone. Someone will be there to talk to you. Someone will be there to help you. Someone will be there to work through it with you.
And guess what?
Suicide and crisis hotline number.
It's not only to call; you can text as well.
Oh yeah, you can text. We can help prevent suicide. The 988 Lifeline provides 24/7, guys, free and confidential support for people in distress, prevention and crisis resources for you and your loved ones, and best practices for professionals in the United States. So this is perfect. Guys, if you're struggling, dial 988, not 911. Well, you can dial that one too. I guarantee they'll be there to help you.
Yep.
But 988 is the crisis line. That's not hard. That's not hard at all to remember. Like I've already, committed that one to memory now. It's easy. Yeah, 988. That's it. Simple as that. You call that number, someone will be there to help you. Like I said, you could dial 911. You're going to get help that way too. It might be a little more difficult getting help that way because, mind you, when you call 911, they're going to send emergency vehicles. They're going to put you in a hospital. They're going to put you in an ambulance and drive you to the hospital, and they're going to stick you with IVs and start, I feel the other way is a little bit more discreet. You can still talk to somebody. They can get you hooked up with someone else to talk to face and actually, sit down with a counselor or something. Look, I will admit I've been to counseling in my life. I've been depressed in my life. I have at some points thought about taking my life. I've never planned to, or, wanted to actually take my own life, but I've been in dark places. I've been there. I've done, I've thought about suicide as an option. This is years ago, but I came to the realization that it's just not for me, and I have too much to live for. I have children. I have, if I were to die, if I were to take my own life today or tomorrow or whatever, like, what happens to my children? Like, they get stuck with the wondering why they weren't enough for me, or why did I have to kill myself? What, it's a lot of guilt. I'm telling you right now, it's a lot of guilt that they would push on themselves, and I don't want my kids to ever feel like I wasn't enough for them, or they weren't enough for me, so I had to take my own life.
Right.
When I die, it's on my terms, and it's going to be, hopefully when I'm super old. We never know when our life's over, but I hope I live another 50, 60 years,
Tomorrow is never promised. Live life to the fullest.
Absolutely, 100%. So we have come up on our 2 hours. Is there anything you'd like to say today, Josh, tonight, or?
No, I think we covered a lot tonight.
We did cover a lot. I had one other topic to cover, but I'll say that for next week. By the way, next week, guys, is my birthday eve when we do this show. You know what? Actually, I've been asked to do a location show, like an on location somewhere.
Mhm.
Maybe, and I just might be. I could probably pull it off. Maybe I'll run my podcast instead of next Friday night. I'll do it Saturday for my birthday. I'm going to call Olive Garden. That's where I used to work there. I'm going to go there for dinner. Maybe I could do, you guys could share my birthday with me. You guys could come to the Olive Garden and have birthday dinner with me. How does that sound, guys? I'll run my podcast during my birthday dinner. I'm sure I could pull something off.
Sounds good. Let's celebrate.
I'm down. Heck yeah, I'm down. Okay. But yeah, next Friday night, if I run the show next Friday night, maybe I'll do Friday night and then do Saturday during the birthday. We'll have a little birthday special. If it's your birthday this week, let me know. Anybody that's watching, but or actually every week, that's another good segment we should do. We should add to the show a segment of where we give shout outs for the week's birthdays.
Yeah.
Coming up this week, it's so and so and so and so and so and so. There are some of our followers, some of our viewers. That's all. I'm going to put that. I'm going to implement that into our show where we shout out birthdays for the week. Right? Okay.
Sounds good.
But yeah, next week, next Friday night, same time, same bad channel, 9 to 11 Mountain Standard Time, right here on Just the Facts on YouTube. I'm going to push for that on location for Saturday at Olive Garden. Guys, come join me at Olive Garden for my birthday. If I can get it pulled off, I'll let you know Friday night if it's going to happen. That's for sure. But yeah, we'll do it. I'm down, totally down to podcast it up on Friday night or Saturday during my birthday. You guys can come join me for my birthday dinner at Olive Garden. You get to meet my parents. They'll be there. You'll get to meet my sister. She'll be there. Probably my girlfriend and her kids. They'll probably be there. Dude, it's gonna be a good time, man. And we'll get the podcast blasting out over there. I'll have the computer set up so you guys can see the table. I'll have some earpods in so I can hear what's going on the conversation on the channel. But yeah, guys, it's been a great show tonight. Josh, thanks for joining us. As always, it's a pleasure.
As always,
like
thank
I said,
you
we'll
for
be back
having me.
on Friday night next week, man.
Don't forget Monday.
Yeah. Oh yeah, Monday. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah, we'll be here Monday. That's going to be a good week for us, man. If we can get some viewership too, this week. All right, guys.
Right.
Monday from what do we say, 6 to 8?
Yep.
Monday 6 to 8. on Memorial Day. We'll have a special show, Memorial Day shout out. And then Friday night, same bad channel, same bad time, 9 to 11 Mountain Standard Time. And then, of course, Saturday for the birthday bash. All right. Josh, you have an excellent night. Chicken nuggets, if you're still here, you have a fantastic night yourself. And we'll talk to you guys later, Monday afternoon or so. All right. Thanks for joining, guys.